I'm an RV technician and I go undercover at dealerships to review RVs for quality. In today's review, I'm going to be looking at a 2023 model year Alliance Valor travel trailer toy hauler. This is their 21 T15 floor plan. I'm going to be grading this today and talk about possibly the most interesting aspect of this RV, and that is the frame that it's sitting on. It is not a Lippert frame. First, let's look at the type of water heater they installed. I was happy to see this has a tank type Suburban brand water heater. Typically, when you have a toy hauler, you want to go out in the wilderness with your toys and go riding, which means tankless water heaters ain't great because they don't allow you to conserve water. A tank type water heater is going to let you conserve water and get a better camping experience if you're actually boondocking. I give this appliance 10 out of 10 points. If you want to know more about what's going to be a good appliance for you in your camping style, go check out my free quiz on my website. Next, let's look at the roof. This is a typical membrane type roof, of which I give 8 out of 10 points. Tree branches can actually poke holes in these and cause water leaks. They're not as durable as a fiberglass roof or aluminum roof. It's important to not only maintain them, but even on a new RV like this, you have to watch out for manufacturing defects because bubbles in the roof can result in the whole roof just getting ripped off as you drive down the highway. Here's the reality, folks. Zero RVs have zero issues. RV warranties can only help you after you've found the issues. So with a new RV, the goal is to identify the issues that exist with it and have them repaired under warranty before you actually sign on the dotted line. This way, all your warranty work will be prioritized because there's a sale contingent on it. If you wait until after you sign on the dotted line, now all the warranty issues that you discover will be put at the back of the queue, which means it could be weeks or months. So if you want to buy this RV and get out there camping and enjoy it right away, you should honestly get a third-party inspection and get things taken care of quickly. You can find an RV inspector that I trust on rigorrvinspection.com. Now let's look at the air conditioners they put on this rig. The AC is a typical Coleman Mach air conditioner, incredibly common in the RV industry. Compared to other brands, I've had to replace a lot of these that just lost their refrigerant and needed to be replaced, and they're expensive, folks. So I give Coleman 7 out of 10 points. Next, let's look at the refrigerator choice. They have a Furrion brand 12-volt refrigerator, which I don't think terribly great things of. 12-volt refrigerators in general are notorious for just breaking. And they're like weirdly expensive compared to their 120-volt residential counterparts. They're like $1,500 for these stupid things. And it's not just because they have a latch on the door. I give this Furrion 12-volt 6 out of 10 points. Next, let's look at the countertop choice in this RV. Unfortunately, everything, both kitchen and bathroom, are a very cheap quality thermofoil. Thermofoil is MDF with a plastic layer kind of melted on top of it. And it can look pretty, but water can get around the edge and cause the MDF that's right under that thermofoil layer to swell up and ruin the countertops. Also, don't set a hot pan on it. It'll melt through it. I give these a score of 2 out of 10 points. Next, let's talk about the cabinet quality on this RV. And unfortunately, they're using lumber core material, which sounds like great because it says lumber in it, but it's actually got MDF layered on either side and then a vinyl wrap over it. What I see over and over when I'm looking at used RVs is that water splashed on the floor soaks into the MDF and splits the vinyl wrap and makes your cabinets look terrible. The doors, however, are actually made of a solid wood, so it's slightly better than just all MDF or lumber core. I give the cabinet in this RV 8 out of 10 points. Next, let's talk about possibly the most interesting aspect of this RV, and that is the frame that it's sitting on. It is not a Lippert frame. This frame was manufactured by BAL. There's some things I like about this frame. For example, where the leaf springs attach to the frame, they actually have special hangers built with like big reinforcing brackets to help stabilize it against left to right movement of the axles. That's actually a great feature. One of the features that makes a BAL frame distinctly different from all of Lippert's frames is that Lippert is using I-beams for the main beams running front to back. BAL is using a C-channel or C-shaped beam running front to back. Most light trucks and even 18-wheelers have C-channel type frames. Honestly, I think it's probably a better design choice than an I-beam frame. Another particular thing about BAL frames is that there's no welds on them. Everything is put together with what they call a huck and bolt system. There's a bolt and a nut and they thread it together and then they stretch the bolt out so that it's kind of riveted in place and can't actually rattle apart. Here's the rub. There are enough people that have had issues with BAL frames cracking in minor ways that the valiant engineers at BAL have created a patch kit that they will send you free of charge and pay to have it installed under warranty if you have cracks develop. And where this is happening is where bolts go through the frame members. Those bolt heads are known for developing stress cracks because of flexing of the frame. If you have a BAL frame on any type of RV, fifth wheel or travel trailer, you should go and inspect it to see if you've got cracks developing. I think it's a minor enough issue that I'm only going to take 1 point off and say 9 points for the BAL frame. If you haven't watched my video about frame cracking, I'll link it at the end of the video. Another note on the frame and suspension is that interestingly, they chose to use Dexter's very basic, very standard shackle links. I've been called out to jobs on smaller toy haulers like this where these shackle links just stretch out over time because of the extra weight of a lot of cargo in the toy hauler area. Honestly, this thing has a cargo weight limit of 3,700 pounds. Like, I would expect these shackle links to be beefier given this really, really high cargo weight limit. Now keep in mind, when you're talking about buying a vehicle this big, one of the most common mistakes RVers make is that they buy a truck that is just undersized for the size of vehicle they're towing. If your RV is too big for your truck, it can break your truck. We're talking like major engine damage, transmission damage, suspension damage. But more importantly, it is a huge safety risk. You could end up in a rollover accident. If you want to avoid breaking your truck, you can get my safe towing course that will help you through all the math to make sure that you have a safe trailer and truck combination. If you buy the bundle of the safe towing course and my RV shopping course, you'll get a discount, and the shopping course will help you look at all the different components like I'm looking at in today's review. Next, let's look at the type of slide out that they put in this RV. It only has one slide out up at the front. It's a fairly small slide out, but it is a Schwintek, and even small Schwinteks fail, and even small Schwinteks can be improperly installed at the factory. Lippert is very clear in their installation procedures that the weight of the room must be resting on the floor rollers underneath the slide out. I literally inspected an RV last week with a small bedroom Schwintek slide out. The weight of the room was resting on the gear tracks. Literally, the one I looked at had 1/8 of an inch gaps between the rollers and the floor. It was still working correctly, but as a technician, I know this is failure waiting to happen. If you're looking at an RV on the lot with Schwintek, you want to see this little white V-shaped roller able to spin when you put your finger on it. And you want to see the rollers under the floor unable to spin. That means they're holding weight. This particular one, the left-hand roller was not able to spin, meaning it's holding a lot of weight. This is kind of a yellow flag in my opinion. I give these 6 out of 10 points because of how many issues I see with Schwintek. Next, let's talk about the plumbing on this RV. And believe it or not, folks, many RVs are actually plumbed in such a way that creates water leaks. Early on, Alliance actually did this bad plumbing a lot. I've had to replace leaky water lines inside of walls on Alliance fifth wheels from 2021. They actually made a change and started plumbing their RVs good, mostly. Recently, their Alliance Delta trailers, they started sneaking some bad plumbing into only some of them, weirdly. The thing you have to watch for is where they attach the water pump to the water system. They might put bad plumbing there on some models. This one appears to be plumbed correctly, so I give the plumbing on this 10 out of 10 points. Fit and finish on this RV, I give 9 out of 10, and only had a minor defect. So the total score for this Alliance Valor travel trailer toy hauler is actually 75. While there's a lot of minor things that I don't like about it or I think could be improved, I think it's actually an RV worth buying. If you want to watch my video about BAL frames, click here. If you want to watch me go undercover to review more RVs, click here. If you want to see my videos about the plumbing problem that's plaguing the RV industry, click here.